Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video, we'll be going through who should you actually 6-star first. So after being grinding the double drop event, probably you have been grinding crazy of the investigation, right? You're grinding for the EXP, you're grinding for the shadow print, and you're also grinding for extra free summon and also extra gem. Then you have all the resources now. Who are you going to 6-star? That's the problem. So there's actually a lot of new unit or new meta to actually getting found out in the community, like for example Vice, for example Hoyin, they can actually one-shot the Toromation. There's actually a lot of things getting tested now instead of just doing Lily and Shadow Sanya. So now, who should you 6-star? I'll go through one by one. The highest priority, then this is also the highest priority, but the priority is for speed. For example, if you're using that unit for speed fight in PvP, or using that unit to get faster so you can outspeed certain bosses in PvE, then you are going for this tier. Then second priority, third priority, and nope, which is either I don't know the value of that character, or either that I just won't 6-star them, or actually the lowest priority. Alright, so the first one is Sanya. So Sanya here is actually a very strong healer, very solid. I'll put her as second priority just because I don't think healer needs the value until 6-star. Unless you are going for the speed, or else most of the cases I won't make the healer to 6-star. I will just stop them at 5-star is all you need, unless you need the extra stats for like the HP. But I would say second priority because I have higher priority to 6-star instead of the healer, which is Sanya. Then dating instantly to the highest priority is the one of the most free to play, or probably the only free to play DPS, the best DPS for your early grind until end game. You are still gonna see dating doing in contents, right? So definitely 6-star him. He is also my first 6-star in my own account as well. It's very strong, totally worth it. And then here Rin. So Rin here is actually surprisingly very strong in PvP. So if you are playing for PvP, then Rin actually have very high priority. But if you don't play PvP, then like PvE wise, I don't see a lot of usage for Rin. But overall, if you are using Rin, and if you are trying to use Rin, then she will be the highest priority because she skills with speed. And then you go to 6-star, extra stats, and also the speed will help for Rin as well. So highest priority only if you are using Rin, and especially in PvP. Then for Chucky the God. So Chucky the God here is either at third priority or second priority, somewhere here. But I'll put him at third priority for now instead of second. Chucky the Guy is actually very strong now in PvE, especially in store team. So if you're using Chucky the Guard, and then if you are playing in PvE, if he can't tank down the damage, then you want to go for second priority. Or else I will put him at third priority because all he needs to do is survive and put immunity and also the defend up. So after doing the job is basically all he needs to survive until his skill is back up. So third priority because I don't think he really needs that much of a stats unless you want him to survive longer. Then the next one is Dorothy. So Dorothy, in my opinion, I will put her somewhere third priority or nope. But for now, I will put at nope. I don't really see a usage for her unless other than doing speed run, like manual speed run to turn meter push some target to actually, for example, turn meter push Dating to let Dating nuke the target again. Or else I don't really see a usage of Dorothy for now. This is just my own opinion. So I will put her at the lowest priority. Then for Dina here, I will put at the second priority. So Dina is actually being used in a lot of content, and Dina is actually pretty squishy. So most of the time when you're playing Dina team, you won't really have a very tanky provide, right? For example, if you're playing Chucky the God, so Chucky the God will provide himself immunity, provide himself defend up. So overall the survival is okay, is doing okay. But for Dina team, usually when you're playing in a Dina team, you're going aggressive. So when you're going aggressive here, you actually really want to have some extra stats for extra damage, extra speed, and extra survival. Because for example, you're using Dina in Toromation, you actually want her to survive the damage instead of just being lower priority, not getting star up to get extra stats. So I will put her at the second priority because she's mainly being used in a lot of content, and usually the team here doesn't provide extra survival for her. Then the next one here is actually Viper. So Viper here is at the second priority as well. Very good dispel, very good debuff, and then the additional speed and survival will help. But mostly you don't really need him to be 6-star. 5-star is actually a very good range to go for. Then for this Dorothy here, I will put a nope as well. Then this one here, I will put at 3rd priority or 2nd priority, depends on your usage. But for now, will be at 3rd priority. He's actually doing a pretty good job, Kazami, doing for a tank team, right? So it's kind of like Chucky the God. Like both of them is providing a lot of survival tank. So if you're using them, you might want to go for 5-star. Probably not until 6-star. 5-star should be able to survive unless you can't survive it. Then you might want to go for higher tier. But I don't think the priority is so high because you only want their usage, which is putting up the skill. Basically that's it, right? And putting up the skill usually is enough to survive. Then the other one here is also Rin, but it's a different type of Rin. I don't really see her usage. I'm not sure about that, but I don't really see a lot of usage of her. I don't really use her as well. I put nope, but if you disagree with this thing, you can argue with me. Then Samurai, nope, I don't even know her name to be honest. But I don't see any usage. Then for team RC77, I will put him at 3rd priority if you're using him in PvP content. It's a pretty good debuffer, but overall I don't really see a very good usage. Probably nope, probably 3rd priority, but I would still say higher priority than the other 4 at this tier, or unless I have a 4th priority, right? Then for this guy here, I would, to be honest, I also forgot his name, so just nope, I don't really use him at all. Then Gray, so Gray here is at the 2nd priority or actually at the highest priority. Depends on your own usage on Gray. Like for me, if you're watching my SR team Doki Doki run with Gray, probably you want him to be 6-star. Alright, for the extra stats for the DPS and also for the defense break. Alright, so okay, because of that, probably I'll put him at the highest priority, just because if you're using Gray as a DPS unit. If you're not using Gray as a DPS unit, to be honest, you don't need to go for 6-star. 5-star is all you need. But if you're using him as a main DPS or sub DPS unit, the extra speed and the stats will help Gray a lot. Rosa definitely worth the highest priority instantly. One of the best DPS you can actually have for Rosa. I'm actually using her a lot in PvP as well, and PvE, very good assist damage, is overall very strong. Then for Shadow Sanya. So Shadow Sanya here, to be honest, go for 2nd priority. Like, isn't she strong? Yes, she's strong, but she doesn't need the 6-star extra stats. All you need is, as long as she's able to survive, that is good, alright, because you can just put DOT. She don't really need the extra speed, she don't really need the extra stats as well. The attack stats for him is pretty useless other than just tuning for the Lily's AI. So overall, 2nd priority is all you need. Then for Obo here is 3rd priority. Like Obo here, as long as you can survive, as long as Obo can provide the DOT, then it's all good, alright. No need to go until like too high investment on Obo, unless you can survive. So for 3rd priority, Krolos here, highest priority for me. One of the best single target bossing damage as well. It can be used in Union bosses, can be used in Terramaton. Lower down value now because we have more other better team, but he's still doing one of the best Terramaton DPS until Hell 4. Probably in Inferno you'll slot him out, but he's still also doing the best for Union bosses as well. So still highest priority in my opinion. Marcia instantly at the highest priority, just because that he is actually a very universal DPS. He can be clear, he can be fit into any content, any PvE content, any PvP content. As long as you have a very invested Marcia, he can carry your team. I have Marcia, but why you don't see him in my showcase? Because I invested all my other resources to all my other unit that is not really LD to make a better content, alright? But I'm gonna use like Lily, Shadow Sanya in some content. Then Heinrich here, depends on your usage, but probably Heinrich now is at a 2nd priority. Because of Holden appearance, it actually lowered down Heinrich value because both have Dispel. Holden Dispel is better, but you want more consistent should be Heinrich. But Holden have resist down and attack down, which is even better. But in terms of aggressive, if you want to make a very aggressive team, for example the Hoyen Terramaton nuke team, you want Heinrich to be higher star, to have faster speed to dispel, and also he can be fit into a sub DPS as well. Then the next one, Tiamat. So Tiamat here, 2nd priority. If she is not nerfed, she will go until the highest priority. But for Tiamat, I won't slot her until like I won't slot her to the highest priority just because after the nerf, I will say she's still strong, just that probably not the highest value in my opinion. Okay, for Heinrich probably for the speed, right? So slot 1 tier. Then for Claws here, I will go Claws to 6 star just because of the speed. The additional survival is good. The extra speed on Claws will be good as well because the faster speed, easier to tune, easier for rotation, for cast out the skill to debuff the enemy. So if I have Claws, I don't have Claws, but if I have Claws, I will 6 star her, give her everything she needs for the stats and also for the speed. Remoka, highest priority because you want the damage. So if you're using Remoka, you want Remoka to actually able to nuke the single target, then only go to splash damage, right? So every stats you want to get from Remoka, so definitely highest priority for the 6 star. Then Ziada also at the highest priority now. So other than Remoka and Doki Doki, you can also see player using Ziada in Doki Doki now, and also Ziada in Aurora, and also Ziada in the Infinity Train, and also in a lot of content as well. So definitely the highest priority, and especially she's a DPS. Then Tsukiyomi here, in my opinion, I have her, but I haven't used her yet, but she's basically the replacement of Lily, not Lilith. Basically the replacement of Lily. So in my opinion, if you want to play Tsukiyomi, probably you want to go for 6 star for additional stats, and she's actually doing pretty well. The speed will help her, the extra defense will help her. So highest priority for Tsukiyomi. She's a very good unit to actually buff your team and also do damage and also like kind of replace Lilith's position. Alright, then the next one, Borg here, is also a very strong unit. Highest priority because in PvP he's gonna do a very crazy amount of damage. In PvE he also does a pretty good job as well. So overall highest priority, or probably a second priority, depends on do you use him. Like for me, I don't really use him, so I won't go for 6 star yet. But if you really want to use him, he requires the 6 star to be worked. Then Lily here is for 6 star for the speed. Alright, you want Lily to be fast as possible to do more assists to for your unit. Alright, so basically it's just for the speed. Doki Doki here is for the speed as well. So if you're using Doki Doki, you want her to be fast, you want her to rotate the skill faster. It's not because of the stats, alright, it's because of the speed. Because 6 star give you additional speed. Alright, then Rahu. So Rahu here actually plays a very important role as well, doing it's a very good defender DPS kind of unit. If you want to play Rahu, he can be used in Doki Doki, he can be used in PvP. Highest priority in my opinion as well. He's a defense type of DPS unit. Okay, then for Lian. Lian is actually doing a pretty good job in her own role if we don't reset her, but we want to reset her because we invested too many perfect Latis. So Lian here is actually doing a pretty good job for Toromaton. I do see player using Lian to clear Toromaton, health for as well. I do see Lian performing pretty well in the story stages and also the tower content. So overall second priority, but if you don't use Lian, for example like me, I don't use Lian at all, then it's not really a 6 star thing, but it's just a preference, personal preference. Then the next one is going to be Mia. Mia second priority in my opinion. Like Mia is overall very strong unit for the healer. She can dispel, she also can turn meter as well. So overall second priority. Then the next one beyond Veronica. Veronica here probably third priority, not really that high priority in my opinion. So Veronica can steal buff, can spread buff for your team, but also the soul ward can get nerfed a little bit. So overall I will say at third priority. Then the next one is Beyond Team. So Beyond Team here, as long as your team can survive, then you doesn't need to go for high star, probably a second priority or third priority, depends on your case. So because most likely when you're using Beyond Team, it's most likely gonna speed run the target. So probably you want to go for additional speed or you want a little bit of stats, but most of the time the start on Beyond Team can be stopped at 4 star, probably go until 5 star is the maximum. You don't really need to go to 6 star, but overall second priority is pretty useful in all cases. Then for Hellkit. So Hellkit here is a very strong unit. I will actually build Hellkit for my PvP content in the future because I got R3 Hellkit, 3 dudes of Hellkit at the early progression. So yes, I will build him. He's actually very strong. He can put up the shield. The shield also acts like an immunity and also doing a pretty good damage as well. So highest priority for PvP content. Alright, for PvE, probably not really a usage of him, but for PvP it's actually very strong. Then for Lingluo here is for the speed. If I'm going for Lingluo to 6 star, it's most likely the speed. If you don't, or else you don't really need Lingluo speed, then you go for second priority. So if you want a 6-star, it's for the speed. Then for Freya here is also for the speed. Additional stats is good, additional speed on Freya is good, and PvP, the speed on Freya is going to be good as well. So overall 6-star, I will 6-star Freya for the speed. Okay, Lilith here, pretty tricky. Lilith is actually pretty good in Doki Doki for the stun, and overall is a very good unit, but I will personally put her at third priority. I don't really think that she's that awesome in my own playstyle. Then Kazuyo, in my opinion, if you want to 6-star her, is for the speed. Alright, but I don't really think you need the speed, so I will put her at the second priority. 5-star is all you need, to be honest. The additional speed can be upgraded through your own equipment. Okay, Kraken. So Kraken here, because Kraken, I can't put Kraken at Kazuyo at the same tier because I think Kazuyo is better than Kraken. So I will put Kraken 1 tier lower at the third priority. But if you use Kraken, do like freeze down the enemy, then probably you want to go for higher priority. But for me, I will put Kraken at lower tier. Then for Marvel is about speed. So if you're playing Marvel in PvP, then Marvel requires the additional speed to actually outspeed the enemy. Then overall it's still a very good unit for PvE content, even though there's a turn meter push down nerf, but still it's good for 6-star for additional speed. Then for this girl, what's her name again, is like Turandot. Turandot here provides a very decent buff, very decent turn meter pushback as well. But in my opinion, I will put her at nope because I don't really see a lot of value other than PvP. But PvP, I still think that it's better you need to use her, so I will say nope. So Chiaki here is actually pretty tricky. She can be fit into second priority or third priority, but I will put her at third priority if you're using. If you want to use her, she requires a pretty high star, to be honest, like to survive the damage. So third priority because she's kind of like the same usage of Chiaki the God and Kazuyo the Raid here to apply the tanky team. Then Yang here is actually pretty strong. It's one of the best unit for, not one of the best, okay, very consistent dispel, turn meter push as well. I'll put Yang at the second priority. You can actually see Yang's performance a lot in PvE as well. PvP, she's doing okay, but PvE he's actually doing a pretty good job. It's kind of like Viper in a way. Then Chiaki the Echo, I will put her as second priority. Her turn meter push is very juicy. The extra turn meter push through the extra passive is also very nice. So overall, I'll put her as second priority, especially when you're using for Chiaki, right? You want her to survive because the team usually is going to be aggressive. You need survival, so the additional stats to make Chiaki survive, especially in Toromaton, is going to be very important. Then for Celine here will be going for second priority. All you need to do is Celine to take her action, provide the forgetfulness, and then provide the shield for your team. It will be all good, unless you want a shield to be thicker. But overall, she's a support unit. She don't really need the additional stats unless you want to go for extra speed. But overall, I do think that she's at second priority instead of the highest tier. Mill, definitely 6-star is for the speed. If you are playing Mill, most probably you are playing in the speed battle. You want an additional speed from Mill to win the enemy speed. Then the next one, this target here, is basically what's her name? Mizuki. Then it's probably the counter attack and also for dispelling as well. So in my opinion, if I want to play dispel, I can use the other dispeller unit instead of her. So I will put her at nope. It's not really my playstyle, so I'll put her at nope. Then Hoyen here, if you want to play her, Hoyen actually plays a very important role to be the DPS. So I will put her at the highest priority. Only if you want to invest on her, alright? Only if you want to invest on Hoyen because she requires a skill up, even in PvP or PvE like the Toromaton, she requires like 6-star and also a lot of skill up. So only if you want to play her, then you go for 6-star, or else no, you don't have to really touch Hoyen at all. Valerian here, second priority because 5-star is all you need to actually make her provide shield for your team. But if you want her to provide you additional stats like HP, the shield to be thicker, then you can go for 6-star, but probably at the second priority. Then for Fungus here is at second priority unless you want additional stats for Fungus to survive the damage, or else second priority, he don't really need the 6-star because the DOT damage is all about just apply the debuff. Like making him 6-star doesn't make him like apply more debuff, right? It's just gonna be the same debuff, just additional tanky and additional speed. Overall, I think it's second priority instead of the highest priority. Then for Victor, here is at second priority, unless you really want to play him in PvP, or you're using him at PvE, but most of the time there's actually better replacement, so I'll put it at second instead of the highest. Then for Holden here, I will put him at the highest priority. Like 6-star Holden, additional speed helps a lot. Holden is very strong in PvP, and Toromaton, you can see Holden in Aurora as well for the Dispeller, for the Dispel role, but if Aurora, you probably use Viper for elemental advantage. Is better, but overall she is a very good dispeller, very good defender type of DPS, so I will put him at the highest priority. Then the rest here, these are the R unit. Overall, I will put them everything here at the noob tier. Okay, I'll put everything here at the noob. Okay, probably DOT you want to go for third priority, but I don't really see a usage. I don't really want to invest him to 6-star. Then this unit for the turn meter push, I don't really want to invest on her, so everything here noob. But for Vice, I will actually put him at the second priority, because if you want to use Vice, especially the Vice technique, you need Vice to tank down the damage. So if Vice himself is not tanky enough, if he get one shot by the boss, then the Vice technique is basically gone, because you want Vice to taunt the enemy, and you want the Vice to taunt the boss, and then the boss hit on Vice. So you want your Vice to be tanky enough to tank down the damage. So I will say Vice actually have the value for second priority. Probably not until 6-star, but he still requires a pretty high priority if you want to use the Vice technique. Alright, so basically this is my tier list for making your character to 6-star. If you have which part you disagree with, you can feel free to comment down and let me know as well. Then I will listen to your suggestion and your own opinion, because I'm not able to use every single unit, right? So probably if you have different kind of point of view, you can let me know. Everything here is just based on my point of view, my usage, and also what I have seen other player using. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Special thanks for the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is GenMP, SPVCEJVMQ, Trendcan, thank you so much for your support. And also special thanks for the supporter or patron of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, Agni, Wang Tamer, Ziggy, Kamaruki, Sunwalks, Rimu, Chani, Antonio Winterspoon, Cragran, Calamity, Rokos Dandions, Jordan Alons. Special thanks for your support. And also special thanks for the Super Thanks MVP, HMZ, RY, and X, Reeks. Thank you so much for your support. Special thanks for the direct support on the live stream super chat for the latest tag. Thank you so much for Code Wilderness, Calamity, Acne, Love Fatima, Fatima Little Underwear, Bloods, Riku Fred, Chani. Thank you so much for your support.